about a year and a half later, my mom started
Mm.
moving differently. And with that moving differently, we started seeing a change in her. And through the change, we came together and tried to figure out the best way to take care of my mom at that time, not knowing who to turn to or who to rely on.
Hey, this is Matt Helton with One Trust Home Loans, your reverse mortgage experts. And I have two special guests with me today on the Serving Senior podcast. We're going to highlight their businesses that help seniors not just get by, not just survive, but thrive in retirement. And my first guest is my good friend. I believe she has the record for most returning guest appearances on the Serving Senior podcast, Miss Barb Abramson. Hey, Barb, how are you?
Hey Matt, I'm great and as always excited to be on your podcast. It's so valuable.
Well, we appreciate you being here. And Barb's business, as you may know, is called Making Meaningful Connections. She's a happiness specialist, and her job is to help people get to know each other better and build deeper relationships by shared experiences and making those connections and making each other happy. So, Barb, please tell us a little bit about your business and then introduce your special guest, if you could.
Thanks so much, Matt. So at Making Meaningful Connections, my goal is to help seniors rediscover or connect to their joy through memories. One of the things we do is the five senses. I have a program called Happiness in the Five Senses, and we go through them and share fun memories related to sight, sound, taste, smell, and touch. And there are some amazing stories that I've heard. And the most beautiful thing happens when someone says, "Me too,"
Mm.
or especially music and smell will bring things out. They're some of the strongest of our senses. And I have seen some amazing miracles where somebody hears music and starts singing for the first time, or recognizes somebody, or a smell, or someone says, "Oh my gosh, I've touched, I love the smell of the rain," or "I love the sound
Mm.
of this," or my children's voices. And it brings such fulfillment, not only to me, but I can see the seniors really enjoy it. I do work at assisted livings. I do work at day groups like the Y and 50 Forward and different groups like that. I've done work with the Alzheimer Tennessee, wonderful, wonderful organization. So it's an honor to help seniors, and it's a special heartfelt for me because my parents were in assisted living. My dad went from dementia into Alzheimer's, and so I feel a strong connection to help others.
Wow, that's awesome. That is
Thank
awesome.
you.
That is awesome. Well, thanks for the background. And I
Mhm.
believe on that same wavelength, you brought a special guest that
I
can serve that
did.
community as well.
Well, I'm excited to introduce everybody to Alan Ross. Alan is the founder of Better Days on the Horizon, and they provide services and resources for families who have somebody with Alzheimer's and need support. Um, I've met Alan a few weeks ago and introduced him to a few other people, including you. And I'm very excited to have him share his story with others. Alan, welcome so much for joining us today.
Thank you so much, Barb. Thank you, Matt, for having me. It's a pleasure to be here today.
Well, thank you,
Uh,
Alan. Good to have you here, sir. Well, if you could maybe do us a favor because you have a great mission. You have an awesome goal with your organization, but we'd also love to hear maybe how you got here, just a little background, where you're from, what you've done in the past, and maybe your journey to having a heart for serving seniors.
well, I'm right here from Nashville, Tennessee, all my
Okay.
life, except for when I was in the military. Um, I began my journey with this because my mother had Alzheimer's.
Okay.
And some of the things that my family went through with my sister and my brothers, not knowing what to do, we wanted to help people understand there are people out there to help you. And we
Mm.
wanted to help get that information out to people. And through some of the things I have done, We have done things at churches, community events, health fairs to try to spread the word with the Alzheimer's Association. And we are linked with Vanderbilt Hospital as far as trying to get tests done if you need to have testing. Or we also link with the American Alzheimer's Association downtown. And we've done a lot of money raising to give back to them to help come up with a cure or help slow this process down with the Alzheimer's disease.
Okay. Wow. That's awesome. That is great. Alan, maybe could you kind of go back and share with us the journey, maybe the feelings that you were going through, how it hit your family when you first thought your family member may have had it and what it was like and maybe some of the struggles. And then what were the points where you knew that you guys had to do something about this to help other families not have the same issues you had?
Well, actually, it goes past my mother.
Okay.
My aunt had it, and my mom was helping my family member take care of my aunt.
Okay.
And I was watching what my mom was dealing with, and nobody knowing who to reach out to or where to go. We had doctors, but they wasn't telling us a lot of things at that time. And after my aunt passed with the disease, about a year and a half later, my mom started moving differently. And with that moving differently, we started seeing a change in her. And through the change, we came together and tried to figure out the best way to take care of my mom at that time, not knowing who to turn to or who to rely on. After my mom passed, we said there has to be a better way. And towards the end, we did get some kind of help, but I feel that there are places where people can get the help early on in the process. We have a thing, if you see something, say something.
Mm-hmm.
And my mom used to always say, hey, I don't have the mind that I used to have. And I used to tell Mom, we will remember for you. And that's one of the things we try to help people with. If it's something that you have a memory of, we try to write it down.
Mm-hmm.
And like Bob says, sometimes it's through music. Sometimes it's through, my mom used to love to cook. If we were cooking something she loved, she would kick right into gear. Like she never dealing with the situation and she can get in the kitchen and help. And we try to do things to keep her involved in everyday life until it got too bad to do that. So
I love that story.
We just want to help people with their family members to not let them forget what's going on, what the main cause is, and how we can help them prolong just a little bit to help them grow with what they're dealing with.
Wow.
Alan, that's so beautiful. And I can relate because my grandmother also was struggling with some dementia toward the end of her life. And one of the things that we did was to record her on video, telling her stories while she still was able. And we could show them back to her. Plus, it allowed us to keep viewing those stories as well and remembering her and the things that she shared about her life. I'd love to hear a little bit about some of the resources that you are able to provide to families.
Well, what we try to do is raise money to help, like, for instance, there was a lady that couldn't get her medication. And we helped the family with that. We raised money to give back to the Alzheimer's Association. And we put them in contact with people that can help them with counseling, help them with family counseling, and help them with trying to network with people that can help them walk in this life.
That's beautiful. What about resources if they need something done to their home or to make it safer or anything like that?
Actually, with being a part of BNI now, that I've made contacts with people that can help you with that. And I've made a lot of contacts with a lot of wonderful people that are willing to come and help or see what they can do to help you with that part of your transition as far as getting things done to your house. Or with Matt, doing a reverse mortgage to help you get money to help you live like you need to live for the time that you do have.
Yeah, that's great. That's awesome, Alan. Yeah, and we're so glad to have you as part of our network because it doesn't make sense for us to have all those resources, options, and outlets without the people to serve. And that's a great resource that you offer is to actually find the people and have the people find you and be able to connect them to the right people. So very valid mission that you have. Maybe tell us if you could, Alan, um, Barb, myself, as well as the people listening, how can we best help you with this valiant mission? How can we help you serve more people?
Well, with through the people that I met through Barb with 50 Forward and also with you, also Matt, if you can put them in contact with me to help me raise more money so I can do more for what I want to do
Okay.
as far as helping people. Um, I was speaking with Barb last week, as a matter of fact. I want to do a gala in November to help raise money to give back to the Alzheimer's community. A bigger portion of the money that I raise, I give back to help people with what they have going on in life.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah, and
that's really great.
I've done things in the past. I feel that if I have a room full of people and I love music, you can come out and get some good music, get some knowledge, and also with the money that we raise, give back to the Alzheimer's Association.
Wow, that's awesome. Now, Alan, this may be something we have to cut from the recording, and this may be recording gold. I don't know, but I just saw a video about an organization that Tim Tebow supports, and it's actually a gala for people that have Down syndrome challenges, etc. Mostly handicapped folks, mentally, physically. And they have the time of their life. So, like I said, this could be way off base, but a gala that has fundraisers as well as dementia patients that are still mobile and they can actually enjoy themselves and tap into what Barb talks about, memories of the five senses. That could be very interesting, but also could be a great event. So
I feel sometimes once those people get there and they get to hear music from their past, it brings back something to make you have a joyous occasion.
Yep. What if you had music from you go back, like if someone is like, 70 to 80, you could pick music from their heyday when they were younger. And that could be awesome. We'll definitely need to bring lots of Paul Ellis's and in-home care companies and all those type of folks there, Barb, to watch the crowd, but could be crazy, but hey, who knows?
Alan, you're so spot on with the music. When my dad was fully sort of out of it and had very little memory, my mom came to see him in the memory care unit, and The Nearness of You started playing on the intercom. That was their song. When I was a kid and they would squabble, I'd put it on and they couldn't squabble anymore. But my dad was out of it. And I'm like, Daddy, listen, it's your song. It's your song. There's mommy. There's your bride. And he like perked up and he saw her and he stood up and he gave her a hug. And it was the most beautiful thing. So the music, the food, the maybe doing a little on stage with memories, there's so much possibility. I can't wait to dive in deeper with you on that to see how we can really make this fabulous.
I'm looking forward to it.
Yep. Definitely want to partner with you.
That is awesome, Alan. That's great. Well, Alan, now tell me this, have you always been into serving folks, diving in? Is this something that's happened the last few years? Maybe tell us your journey. What are some of the jobs you've had in the past? I think you said you were in the service, so thank you for your service as well. Maybe give us some background on Alan and what makes Alan tick.
Actually, Alan's a pretty quiet person. I don't talk a lot. I get people to talk for me because I don't talk a lot. But once I can do a one-on-one and we could talk all day.
Okay.
I did work in Easton for 26 years.
Okay.
Everybody in my family, I was raised doing gospel music. Everybody in my family can play something, sing something, or do something in gospel. So I was raised in the church. So watching my people care for people, it comes naturally.
Wow.
What this journey cares for me is helping people with the disease. And I want to help with that. I think I'm a natural nurturer because of my family. And I just wanted to expand on that with helping people.
Wow.
What
Man.
a beautiful legacy, a natural nurturer because of my family. That is such a beautiful statement.
Mm, man, that's great. That is great, Alan. Well, because of that being a natural nurturer, we know that there's, several evolutions even left inside your organization. I'm sure you're going to expand and grow and help more people. Maybe could you give a couple examples of, hey, if you're out there, be on the lookout for this because we can help with that. Be on the lookout for this because we can help for that. Maybe a couple concrete examples that people could latch onto.
Um, for me, and I can only go from my experiences with my
Sure.
family. My mom started just to repeat herself
Mm,
and repeat herself. And if you see that, understand it, and then say, hey, maybe we need to get them tested. Um, I had a family member pass in Detroit last year, and I have an uncle that always flew, didn't mind going anywhere by himself. But when we mentioned to him, hey, we can get you there, we'll have someone to pick you up, he wouldn't do it. So I took off from work, I drove him, and throughout the drive, the conversation that we had, and we stopped a couple of times, and throughout the stop, he got turned around quite a bit. And I kept watching it. And once I got back, I told my cousin, I said, hey, you need to get him tested. Something's not going on. Something's not right. Within a week, he was tested and he has early onset Alzheimer's.
got it.
And it was just by the conversation and the actions that I know how he was or how he used to be. And it was not the same.
Mm,
And now he's taking medication and still moving around, but we caught it early to where we
That's
can maybe
great.
slow down some.
okay.
One of the things that your conversation now just reminded me of is that when somebody does repeat themselves, that if you remind them that you've just said that, it hurts two people. It hurts them and it hurts you as well. And you have to be in a place where you want to help them and not hurt them by reminding them that all the time because they don't know and they
I,
don't get
I'm sorry. I like hearing it again. So whatever you say, you can say it as many times as you like.
that's it.
I'm a listening ear for you, and that's
Oh
Mm,
what
yeah,
it
I'll listen again too, but I don't ever want to say, you just told me that. You just told
No,
me that. You
no.
know, that doesn't help anybody. And yeah, let them keep telling you. They may even come up with something new. It's kind
You
of neat.
know, one of the things I realized is you have to be a patient person, a
mhm.
Mm-hmm.
patient listener, and an understanding person to deal with a person with dementia and Alzheimer's. Because you can't get angry because of something that they're going through. You just have to be understanding, prayerful about it, and just help them with their process.
Mhm.
Huge.
Wow,
Yes.
that's awesome. Yeah, Alan, you need to meet Larry, which I believe it was Larry. He's a friend of Cheryl's with Alzheimer's Tennessee.
Okay.
And the short version of the story was that Larry's wife started to have serious Alzheimer's episodes, and so bad that she almost went all the way back to her high school or college days,
Uh-huh.
X'd out most of the middle part there. And she started talking about her previous boyfriend before him. And he went so far as to what Barb said, not to go against her, but to go with it, make her feel comfortable. That if they went to the store, she said, I can't leave because, Tom might come by. He would put a
Right.
note on the door for her to feel comfortable to say, hey, if he comes by, he's going to call us and he'll know we'll be back.
Right.
She didn't even know him anymore, but he cared so much about her that he went with it because it would frustrate her when he tried to explain, and he learned that quickly that just to go with it. So that's great advice from both of you guys, and an extreme example of hopefully that doesn't happen to people listening, but it can get very challenging to do that. It sounds like.
But
Right.
what a great, if it is happening to anybody listening, that really touched my heart to hear that story. And what a great way to make somebody feel better or feel more comfortable or feel safe. Um, cheers to Larry because that's beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah, that's awesome. Well, Alan, we wanted to be respectful for everyone's drive time and be respectful for your time today. So we would love to maybe wrap it up with anything that people out there need to know that we haven't asked you that you'd love to share. And then also, how would they get in touch with you so you can serve them with all the knowledge that you've gained over the years?
Actually, they can contact me by emailing me at info@betterdaysonthehorizon.org.
Okay.
And once they go there, all my contact information is there.
Fantastic. Great. Anything else that we need to cover?
Actually, I want to thank you all. I want to thank Barb. She's a sweetheart. She came into my life at the right time. And I happened to turn around in the BNI meeting, and she said, I need to talk to you. And
wow.
we hit it off since then. And hopefully we can do a lot of more things together.
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Hopefully we'll all be on the walk to make Alzheimer's a memory on March 29th.
We're there.
That's it.
Me and my family, we're there.
I love it.
That is awesome. Barb, do you want to plug that one more time about what the event is?
Yep. March 29th in Franklin. It's the Walk to Make Alzheimer's a Memory. And there are, you can go on to alzheimerstennessee.com and create your own team or join a team. We have a BNI Middle Tennessee team. And it's a fun day because there are booths where people can do brain games. There are activities for kids. There's line dancing, a lot of fun. And then we go on the walk, and it's all to raise money to help those with Alzheimer's and to thrive. Hopefully we find a cure.
That is fantastic. Yep. That's fantastic. Yeah, we want to raise money to find that cure. And in the meantime, we've got great people like Alan to make people's lives a little bit better, help the family. We got to remember there's two groups of patients, right, Alan? There's the family and what they're going through and the challenges they're going through on a daily basis. And there's also the actual true patient. And there's different ways to handle both. And thank you for shedding some light on how to do that. Thank you for being who you are, Alan. And thank you for being that nurturer that people going through this need.
Thank you so much. And thank you for having me.
Yeah. Thank you. And thank you, Barb. Great to see you again.
Always. And Alan, I have to say, meeting you was the right time too. It was a blessing for me as well.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Well, thank you both. And thank you for watching the Serving Senior podcast, where we highlight these fantastic people like Barb and Alan that help seniors thrive in retirement. We'll see you on the next episode. Have a great day. Talk to you soon. See you guys.
Thanks, Matt.
Bye now. Hey, this is Matt Helton with OneTrust Home Loans, home of Retirement Mortgage Solutions. And we really do appreciate you checking out the Serving Seniors podcast today. Now, please go to the description down in the body of the podcast where you can subscribe to get future shows. Please click that notification button so you get notified when other shows drop. And also, if you can go to servingseniourspodcast.com, and we'd love to hear a comment about our show. We have a heart to serve seniors, and we have a heart to make sure seniors don't just survive retirement, don't just get by in retirement. We want to show seniors how to thrive in retirement. So if you know of anyone that's 55 and older that could use some extra cash flow, maybe the retirement's not going the way that they like, our retirement mortgage solutions are designed for folks, depending on the state, they're either 55 or 62 and older, to make sure that they have that kind of retirement that they want. As long as they own a home and they're in a good equity position, there could be some solutions that they may not have thought about, or maybe they've thought of and they just didn't know how they work. That's what we do. So anyone in that age group that could use some mortgage advice, my team and I would love to be able to help them. Thanks again, and look forward to seeing you on the next show. Have a great day.